Today's little project, I am changing the brake fluid. A really neat way to do it by yourself if you don't have someone to step on the brakes while you loosen the screw or tighten the screw or whatever. Half the time the other person does it wrong anyways. Make one of these. Just any old little plastic bottle. I believe this inner tube is, well, yeah, it says right on it, 1/4. But on the last vehicle I did this on, it did not quite fit on the brake bleeder screw. Pretty darn sure that this gas line I have on here, that's 1/4 inch too. I know I bought that for my small engine tractors, and they use the small gas line. So they must measure gas line on the outside. Thought it was all, okay, so you need 1/4 inside diameter. So gas line, 1/4 inch gas line would work perfect. You wouldn't have to put that little nipple on the end like I did, so it's tight on the bleeder. So just drill a hole slightly smaller in any plastic bottle, and then a little vent is good too, just any small hole. And you want the bottom filled with brake fluid, but I'm so cheap I don't want to waste my new stuff. And I know this fluid in this vehicle is very old, so I'm actually just gonna keep pushing a whole bunch out with the brakes. Okay, I'm under the vehicle now. And this Maxima, the brake bleeder is right there on top of this rear brake caliper. When you bleed the brakes, you want to start with the wheel farthest away from your master cylinder, which is usually your right rear wheel. Apparently on the newer cars, probably like 2010 and up, I guess you start closest to the master cylinder, which would be driver front tire, but that's because they put the master cylinder reservoir towards the back of the vehicle or something weird like that. Check on your own vehicle, make sure, find out where your master cylinder is or your ABS stuff before you start trying to bleed the brakes. Make sure you have fluid in your master cylinder reservoir, and then just leave the top sitting on. Alright, there's what we got out. That's about 15 pumps. And then take your hose off and tighten up your brake bleeder screw. Sometimes to get these brake bleeder screws loose, these ones weren't too bad at all, I'll use a wrench with a mallet, get some nice soft blows. Otherwise a ratchet is nicer, but I could not find my 10mm socket. Oh wow, that almost looks like moisture in there. Boy, that looks weird. It's even separating. I wonder if, what in the heck? Ooh, I think I'm gonna pump a little more out. It appears on this one, I went back and I redid because I had so much crud coming out of the left rear. So I went back and, the color of the fluid was just, it's like there was moisture, water in there. It's just disgusting. Gross, but now I got clear stuff coming out. So I'm gonna tighten the nut up again and then pull the hose off. Cracking her again. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. when you crack them, you only got to crack them about 1/4 inch. Don't forget to refill your master cylinder up. You don't want that to go dry, otherwise you will be sucking in air. Looks like my fluid is clear coming out, so I ended up doing 20, that was probably about 30 pumps on each wheel. Then finish tightening up the bleeder screw with the closed end of the wrench. Snug it up. It doesn't have to be overly tight. Do not He-Man it. It's never nice for the next time you work on it, or the next person that ends up working on it. Then make sure, wipe down spilt brake fluid, because that stuff is pretty caustic. They say it's supposed to be fine for rubber. I don't know. I don't trust it. It's like I said, it's caustic stuff. Also, another important thing to remember, they got little covers, little rubber covers on the bleeder screws. One of mine had one didn't. So I'll have to look in my parts and see if I can find another one. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. Do not let the reservoir go dry when you're bleeding the brakes. And mine is just a tad bit low, so I'm just going to top her off, and my brake fluid is half. That's probably 3/4 all brand new. I just have to bleed the front 2 rotors, and brand new brake fluid in the system. So there you go. A very simple one-man operation to bleed your brakes.